And the next interview is with Jenny. Hello, Jenny.
Hi, Daryl.
Jenny, could you tell us how and when you started dancing?
Okay, well, I started dancing quite a long time ago. My first experience, my older sister took me along to a dance class when I was a preschooler. Unfortunately, the class I was put in, the teacher tended to yell a bit. Not at the students, but at the student helpers in the class, and that put me off, so I wasn't enthralled with that. But luckily, about 4 or 5 years later, some school friends were going dancing and I tagged along with them, and it was a totally different experience and I got hooked.
Good.
So that lesson is I make sure I always enjoy dance, and I try to ensure all my classes and my students actually enjoy dance and not put the pressure on them or to feel intimidated or that they can't do it.
Yeah. Can I just say, just on that, actually something Mr. Wrightson said to me when I was doing my initial teacher training was make sure your student smiles in every lesson.
Yes.
You know, you've got to make sure it's enjoyable, don't you?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's my dream of dance.
Yeah.
It's got to be fun.
Yeah. And you've had a very successful career, so tell us about some of the things that you've done with your dancing.
I have. I've been very blessed. Through my teenage years and into my early 20s, I was dancing competitively. I did manage to get to the top 10 A-grade amateur Latin.
Yes.
But I think my highlight was being part of the first Withers Formation dancing team that travelled to England. We danced at Winter Gardens in Blackpool at the Open to the World, to the British, and then we actually danced at Albert Hall in the World Championships, which was quite an experience for a 15-year-old.
Wonderful experience, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they were definitely the highlights.
Great, fantastic. Yeah. And tell me about starting with Ballroom Fit. So when and how you started with Ballroom Fit?
Okay, well, off and on throughout my life I'd been dancing. I'd taken breaks while I had children, and then when my husband and I split up, took a break from dancing then. But in 2019 I'd had a bit of a health scare, and as most people do, you kind of reevaluate things. And so I decided I wanted to do some voluntary work. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and I'd always considered myself a dancer. When I came across an advertisement in our local paper about an NDIS display of ballroom dancing in Belmont at Forster Park in December 2019. I thought I'd pop in, watch for half an hour or so and see what it was all about. Well, I stayed for the full 2 hours, and at the end of it I reached out to you and said, how do I become part of this? It was such a joy to watch everybody at that I just wanted to be part of it and found this is my calling, this is what I wanted to do for voluntary work.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. But you've done more than just voluntary work. So tell us, although you still volunteer, I know you're still helping classes when you can, but tell us about what you do with Ballroom Fit now.
Well, yes, over the time you've slowly introduced me to different opportunities, starting with a gentleman with cerebral palsy that I started teaching and still teach today, 3.5 years later. The opportunity to be involved with our abilities classes for those in wheelchairs and those with intellectual disabilities. My favourite class, I'd have to say, is my vision impaired class. Wonderful because they teach me as much as I teach them. We have such a ball there. And then I do some private lessons with people of varying disabilities and abilities.
Yes, and you do your own pro-am work?
I do my own pro-am work. I'm competing with Ian in the Pro-Am Masters 3 Modern. And I'm working a little bit on Latin, and who knows what the future holds.
Absolutely. I even put a new proposition to you today, didn't
I? Indeed you did. I'm going to sleep on that one.
Yes. Well, Jenny, thank you very much for your interview, for sharing your dancing journey with us.
No, thank you for the opportunity to be part of it.
You're such an asset to the studio. I really appreciate you being part of Ballroom Fit. Thank you very much.
No, it's my pleasure, my honour. Thank you.